Congratulations, you made it to the end of the course. You are a finisher. So let's do a little review on the different information that we covered throughout this course. We kicked this course off getting into binary numbers and really fully understanding those binary numbers and how to work with those binary numbers. We started out by covering those microprocessors and how computers work and how it uses these bits to process information. We covered things like how these bits represent characters and how they represent graphics. We even took a look at Roman numeral systems and base 10 decimal systems, something that we're familiar with. So that way we had some context that we could carry into it to study binary numbers. We got into those powers of 2 and how when we wanted to represent a certain number of states, a certain number of possibilities, we would just figure out how many bits we would need to represent that. And one of the numbers that comes up a lot is 8 bits. So we call that a byte. 256 possibilities, 0 through 255. We also talked about why we use decimal systems, why we use binary systems, why we use hexadecimal, and why we use octal systems. Then we took a deep dive into those binary numbers. We started out just by learning how to count in binary. We did take that look into how to add numbers, and although I don't think you'll be using adding binary numbers a lot, it just gives us a little extra perspective on those binary numbers and how to use them. Then we got into converting from binary to decimal and from decimal to binary, which is critical skills when it comes to things like subnetting and other areas when it comes to computing. Then we moved into hexadecimal. We did the same things with hexadecimal. We started out just by learning how to count using hexadecimal numbers. We also got into converting from binary to hexadecimal and from hexadecimal to binary. And we learned to go from decimal to hexadecimal and hexadecimal to decimal. Then we moved into the octal numbering system. We did go over the highlights of the octal system. We didn't cover it as in depth because quite frankly, you're not going to use it a lot. But there is some cases where you are going to use the octal number system. So we focused on that, like the Unix and Linux file permissions, and how to convert from those binary numbers that the computer sees to a octal system so that we can enter in and change those file permissions, those file and directory permissions. I hope you really enjoyed going through the material and got a lot out of it. This creates that solid foundation that now you can take that and apply to whether you're going into programming or whether you're going to do IP subnetting or whatever the case may be. This creates that solid foundation that you can build off of in the future. So thanks for joining me.